championships, all of it is out of window. Obviously, I don't have no criteria. The criteria is how I feel. So it's my opinion at that point. Why am I gonna sit here and argue with people over opinions? Okay, Gilbert Martin-Cleese was a good college player. That's what it really was. He was a great college player, right? When you're talking about NBA, you're talking about first step, one-on-one skills, understanding pick and roll. But I think he was probably at that time, because he came in probably, a year before me. So anywhere from, because I played against him in college. So he had to come into that 2000 draft. He was just not fast enough for the NBA, especially at that time where they were pressing a lot. So he didn't have the foot speed. I think that's the same thing that happened to Miles Simons, putting him at the point guard position. Really couldn't shoot enough to keep everybody honest and making them go under or making them go over the pick and roll. So everybody was going under at the time if you couldn't shoot the ball. Kevin Durant, take his shots at MJ. Now, I call all of it misinformation, right? Kevin Durant's comments is more of misinformed than it is reality. When MJ left, MJ didn't leave because he was bored. MJ didn't leave because he was tired of winning. That's not why MJ left. MJ left because MJ was told to leave. All right, I'm gonna just be honest. MJ was told to step away because of what was going on in the media. All the rumors that was, you're talking about a time where MJ is the league. He is the face of all branding. He is considered the best player that ever lived. He is the face of USA basketball. This is America's darling at this moment in time. He was bigger than life. And the rumor of gambling, the rumor of, how his father passed, and all of that going on, it was collectively, hey, we need you to step away from, retire. Because if the news broke while MJ was playing, they thought it would have ruined the image of the NBA at that time of what they were trying to build. Even though it was the league was stable, they were just getting these TV deals. I just think they didn't want that news of gambling and his father passing and all that stuff to fall on, the league's doorstep. So they basically said, step away, let everything calm down. So if the news did break, it broke on baseball. It didn't break on the NBA's doorstep. I'm just being nice when I say this to, just keep it, glossy. But it was the NBA's call for him to step away. It wasn't his choice. So when Kevin Durant said he stepped away and did this, he's not giving MJ credit. It wasn't he was quitting. Trust me, they wanted to go 4-0. I mean, 4-peat, 5-peat, but it was more NBA business decision, and that's why he stepped away. So they got all of that gambling, all that rumors under control. But listen, on the Kevin Durant side and the LeBron side, I mean, you're talking about, listen, Kobe, Jordan, LeBron, KD, Kareem, John Stockton, Karl Malone, these guys that are playing 15, 20 years, they're dedicating themselves to the game, right? The conversation that they're talking about, the conversation, LeBron's talking about with KD, this is for a group of guys who really understand the goal. They're sacrificing friends, they're sacrificing life itself for basketball. And that's why sometimes they get irritated when people, just push their legacy away. Imagine Kevin Durant, he don't have kids. He wants to have a family after he's done playing. He don't want to have to focus on kids and family and wife and basketball. He feels he don't have enough time in the day to focus on all that because 24 hours he wants to focus on basketball. He literally trains and watch film. That's what he does. So, he loves basketball. He loves the hoop. So, when he sees a Michael Jordan legacy, he's speaking from a standpoint of you fucked up greatness, right? Why did you leave this window open for even debating? Why didn't you have 8 championships in a row? Why didn't you have 9, 10 MVPs? right? You're going back and say, hey, like if we called Michael Jordan today or back in '90 and say, hey, there's going to be a kid by the name of Kobe Bryant that's going to be coming after you. There's going to be a LeBron James who scores 50,000 points, who has 20 All NBAs. He has this and that. Does MJ say, oh, okay, let me do this and let me secure, my legacy a little bit more? That's what we be wishing. Like he's thinking from a purist side too. He's thinking for like the legacy of itself. Like, damn, I wish I would have stayed here and collected all these MVPs. So, they're arguing on both sides. He's arguing for his legacy and he's arguing for the legacy of others, wishing that if they knew the information that they know now, they would have changed, how they played the game and, the things that they would have done. So I look at it on both sides, of the spectrum. Like I don't take sides on stuff like that. I try to understand. I don't get offended. I try to understand where the person's coming from to then, give this middle of the road opinion. MJ Gil is not talking facts. MJ was stat padding last season. Gil is lying. I haven't said anything. Like that's niggas like you. I haven't said anything. MJ subbed back in the game as a Wizard. Man, I was in the NBA, dog. Like, what am I lying about? I haven't said. Like, do you like? First of all, okay. How about this? Since those was padding stats, the MJ in the Wizards was padding stats. Let's take these 2 years off. Changes. What changes? Actually, my nigga, it makes the MJ argument even better. Now you can take off 2 years. Now it's 13 years instead of 15 years. It's 13 years. Them 2 years just diluted his stats. It diluted his stats. Fam, you take those. Now he finishes with the game. Now he finishes, to be honest, his legacy with a championship, which a lot of champions and a lot of GOATs didn't do. He actually was the first one that I can think of, that finished on a championship as the man with a game winner, with a finals MVP. You see how the legacy sounds a lot better than Wizards? So if you want to take off the Wizard years of him patting his stats on that sorry-ass team, I'm pretty sure the Jordan fans will commend you on that. They will be sitting there like, good job. Padding stats is part of the game. I don't know who told you it wasn't. I don't know who the told you padding stats. When a nigga ball hogs, what the you think that is? What do you think John Stockton and goddamn Magic Johnson was doing with passing the ball? That's padding stats, right? I'm overpassing so much that I want assists. What do you think rebound niggas who got 30 and 40 rebounds? Padding stats. Blocking shots. I'm trying to get so many blocks that I'm giving up offensive rebounds. Like I want to jump at everything so somebody can get the rebound back there. I don't care. I want the shot. I want the block. That is padding stats. A coach playing his team all the minutes so they can get all the wins. He's padding his stats to get in wins. All of it is considered padding stats. We only want to use it when we want to complain about somebody else, but it's all part of it. Right? LeBron James for the 22 years. Yes, all of it. Padding them fucking stats. Karl Malone, padding them stats. John Stockton, padding them stats. You don't think Jokic out there? What do you think Jokic out there doing? Padding stats. All the rebounds, all of this. It's all the same thing, man. It's putting all the stats together to make an argument of how great you are. That's it. That's why I look at it all as the same. Right? If you say, oh, this guy sucks because he lost a 3-1 lead, I'm gonna say, okay, this guy lost a 3-1 lead, this guy lost a 3-1 lead, same shit. Put him in the same field. Try something different. I don't like those little narratives that people use to discredit something. Best player since Michael Jordan retired in '98. Let me look at it. Let me look at this. Okay, I'm done. I don't want to look at it no more. Because it just don't make no sense. See, because this right here, it says Best NBA player since Michael Jordan retired from the Chicago Bulls, 19 down since the 90s decade. Kobe, Tim Duncan. All objective, better, and more impactful than overrated LeBron. See, this is why I don't pay attention to stuff like this. Is because it's a Jordan page, right? It's a Jordan page trying to discredit, obviously, the person that's threatening. So obviously, you're going to find your narrative and you're going to use certain things to take away. But the fact that you even put that don't have LeBron James or Steph Curry on it or Shaq on it or Allen Iverson on it, it just doesn't even, why should we even take you serious? And I look at stuff like that. Like, I can't take you serious if that's how your list starts off. Right? Michael Jordan overrated. Like, is it done by a Kobe fan? Right? Is it done by a LeBron fan? Then I don't want to see it. Right? Like, it just, because you're going to make it seem like, how about this? Stop trying to discredit the other, just like everybody, and then just talk about their greatness. Treat it like a job interview. How about this, y'all? And y'all don't want to do this. Imagine you have a job interview and you are a Kobe fan. When you go into that interview, you're just going to talk about Kobe, right? You're not going to mention Jordan. You're not going to mention LeBron James. You're going to, like you do at an interview, you're going to talk about what you bring to the company. What you bring to the company. I've never seen a motherfucker go inside of a meeting to talk about the niggas outside. You know what I mean? You just talk about who you like. Let the person who likes LeBron talk about LeBron. Let the Jordan fans talk about Jordan. Because all that happens is you talk about what everyone did, who's patting their stats, and who lost this series. Like, this one series dictates a whole nigga career. It just doesn't make sense. Tyson, no, I did not dog Kobe on my shows. I've never said I agree with anything. I'm a neutral party that talks about how the media landscape is. See, the problem sometimes is everyone has opinions, right? And everybody thinks their opinion is right. Now, if your opinion is right, then what the fuck are we having a debate for? Right? I mean, think about what I'm saying. If I go right now and say, I think Penny Hardaway is the greatest point guard that ever lived, that's my opinion, and you want to debate me, how are you going to debate me in that? Like really think about how the fuck are you going to debate me on my opinion that I picked? Because there's no logical thing you're going to use that I'm going to give two shits about. I'm not going to care whatever stat you put, nothing, right? Championships, all of it is out of window. Obviously, I don't have no criteria. The criteria is how I feel. So it's my opinion at that point. So why am I going to sit here and argue with people over opinions? That's why I use a neutral party and I debate the media's list. That's how so when you say, oh, you're saying something negative about Kobe, I'm using the media's list and I'm going off of that. We can debate the media's list. If we can debate, has nothing to do with my personal list. So now we're just using all factual stuff that we can prove. Gil, you're not even a top 10 point guard. Of course not. Who the f said that? Whoever said that, they should lose their credibility. That sounds stupid. Top 10? That's crazy. What's wrong with you, man? That is great. Top 10. Nigga, I'm not top 10 on my own personal list, which I'm biased to my list, and I don't even have me top 10 in my list. This guy.